PapaKenn Reviews is a Reviewboard magazine production. Reviewboard magazine. We review the world.
This video is brought to you in part by the Bobo Broadcasting Network. For this and other great stuff, head to bobobroadcasting.com.
The Amazing Spider-Man is the unnecessary reboot to the Spider-Man trilogy from director Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. The first of these was released in 2002, almost exactly 10 years before this new installment. Now this violates the unwritten 14-year reboot rule according to many fans, and to make matters worse, Spider-Man 3 was released only 5 years ago. Then digging its grave even deeper, we get Spider-Man's origin story again. Now the biggest challenge for a movie like this is obviously whether or not its existence as a reboot is justified. So, does it justify itself as a reboot? No, but that doesn't mean this movie isn't good. The truth is, The Amazing Spider-Man is really good. So good, in fact, that I consider it not only better than Spider-Man 3, but possibly even the first Spider-Man movie as well. I know that may seem like heresy, but the quality of the movie speaks for itself. The cast is spot on, with great performances from all of the key characters. Andrew Garfield, aside from the annoyingly Edward from Twilight-esque hair, is by far a more convincing Peter Parker than Tobey Maguire. Emma Stone's portrayal of Gwen Stacy is much stronger than Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Watson. Other than simply being the love interest or the damsel in distress, Gwen plays a key role in many parts of the movie, especially the events leading to the final battle. Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben is a character we quickly grow attached to, and Sally Field as Aunt May is lovingly relatable without having to remind you of your grandma. Now obviously the most important part of a Spider-Man film has to be Spider-Man himself, and this is another area where Garfield not only sets himself apart from Maguire, but the character itself is vastly different. This Spider-Man is... well, he's the Spider-Man that comic nerds like me have come to love in the pages of graphic novels. He's quick, witty, and rather than spending half the movie crying, let's face it, Maguire did his fair share of that in the Raimi films, this Spider-Man makes fun of every thug he disposes of, and continues the smartassery in even the most dire of situations. Overall, this is a solid and very well made movie, but it's not without its flaws. The CGI is laid on thick, and while it works well most of the time for Spider-Man's enhanced speed and movement, the lizard looks more than a little fake at times. Then there's the first-person perspective shots, which are obviously done for the sake of people that paid for the 3D glasses. While these aren't overdone, and are highly preferred over the coming right at you 3D tricks from Men in Black 3, they still occur more often than necessary. The final and unfortunately biggest issue with this movie is that it simply doesn't justify the need for a reboot so soon after the conclusion of a trilogy that is still fresh on everyone's mind. It just doesn't do enough to differentiate itself from the Raimi films or even the traditional Spider-Man mythos. Plus, let's face it, we're all sick and tired of origin stories. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Batman Begins, Spider-Man, all origin stories that range from face melting to... oh, well, that was nice. Who doesn't know Spider-Man's origin story by now? Now, despite falling short of justifying a franchise reboot and some other minor flaws, this is a movie I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. Webb's film does enough different from Raimi's Spider-Man that it doesn't feel like a complete rehash, and on its own, the film stands strongly among the powerhouse Marvel Comics movies in recent years. It's no Captain America, Iron Man, or The Dark Knight, but still fights to be noticed amidst these heavy-duty movies with a quality that rivals Spider-Man 2. Yes, the movie that so many of us geeks and nerds consider to be the best of the Spider-Man series. It doesn't quite reach that level of quality, but easily blows away Spider-Man Meets That 70s Show 3, and is just as good, if not better, than Spider-Man vs. Willem Dafoe, who I can only hope will appear in the Amazing Spider-Man sequel. It's unnecessary, it's nothing that hasn't been done before, but it's so very good. You got me, Webb. Now bring on the sequels. I give The Amazing Spider-Man 8 out of 10. I'm PapaKenn, and I'll see you next review.